Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you all about hold the space parenting. And what is this, might you ask? Well, I talked a little bit about this in a different video. I talked about parenting that's not helicopter parenting, but also that is attentive, right? So we don't just want to let our kids go wild like, we're just letting the dog out back, right? Like that's not what I'm talking about when I dog helicopter parenting, right? I'm talking about natural consequences with close supervision. I know I've referenced that before. And what that really means, it's a very, very old-fashioned way of parenting. And it's not, I think sometimes when we say old-fashioned, we think about like 50s or maybe the 20s. No, I'm talking about like indigenous style parenting that is very much like the natural course of things, like what happens over the natural course and how things happen and what really is the natural consequence of each action, right? Now, of course, this is all within your judgment. So this is not like, oh, the natural consequence of jumping off a cliff is that you just die. Of course it's not that. Let's not be ridiculous. This is like just reasonable natural consequences with close supervision. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so this is a hard one, right? Because as a millennial, as a modern parent, these days, this really truly old-fashioned style of parenting with gender roles that are supportive of biology, not based on any kind of social standard by any means, it's very unpopular. Because we live in a society that has taught us that money means more than anything, including the next generation. And so what we have is women who have been trained to have this hunger and this just wanting of just money, money, money. Just advance your career, money, status, power, advance your career, educate yourself, get more status, get more power. This is what we've been taught to value. So I don't blame most women, it's something that we're taught and we're conditioned to want instead of being at home with our young cubs. I mean, they grow in our bodies. I mean, we have their DNA in our brains. Our husbands don't have that. Our spouses don't have that. Only the birthing mother has that. We feed them with our bodies. It's so beautiful when you co-sleep. Their body temperature and their heart rate regulates with you. It's a very natural course, natural way of parenting, and in today's world it's simply unpopular. Because why is it unpopular? Because it gets in the way. It very much gets in the way of making money and progressing in your career. And I'm not saying that women shouldn't do anything outside of parenthood, not at all. What I'm saying is that there's a proper place and time for everything, and there are people that are right for the job. And daddy is not the right one to stay home with the children. He's not biologically inclined to child rear, to be the primary person that child rears. He's not. He's just not. And there's no amount of talking that we can do that will change this. There's no amount of rationalization or wishful thinking or legislation being passed or workplace equity that's going to change this. Women are biologically designed to carry children, feed children, comfort children even. I mean, have you ever been around, your fairly average mom and dad, and most of the time the kids, if they're upset, they don't want dad. Sometimes this happens, and as they get older, it changes a little bit more, but come on, the draw of the child to the mother in a healthy relationship, and even sometimes in unhealthy ones, actually often, is incomparable. You can't compare it to anything else. Women are biologically inclined for child rearing, to be the primary person rearing the children. Now, that's not to say that they're the ones that do everything and all things and the partner does nothing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are certain sacrifices that come with being a man. There's certain sacrifices that come with being a woman. And in today's modern world, how we've tried to make it, it's very much so that the woman cannot win. The woman can't win in today's world because we are taught that we're supposed to live in a way that's misaligned with our biology. And so we're super effed up from that psychologically and physically. I mean, look at birth control, how much that effs up your body. So we're not only effed up, but we're also taught these things that are like, okay, and this is what you value, you know, go out there and make money. You have a kid, just let your husband stay home or send it to daycare, whatever. Don't nurse because that's too much trouble and you're gonna have to pump and it's just a big mess. So just put him in daycare, keep advancing your career, everything's fine. And then the woman goes back to work and she's miserable because she misses her child because it's in her body and it's in her brain. It's not something that she can wish away. Hold on, I gotta go get my tea.